First of all, my name is Leonardo Romo, and today I'm going to be talking about for my video exam about Ramona, Shirley Letters, and Death Valley and 49. Each one of these books was quite interesting to read, and they had interesting passages. But my favorite one, I think, would have to be Death Valley and 49, especially because I did a presentation on that one, and I feel like it was pretty interesting to see the landscape, to not see it, but like kind of read what it meant, like they were talking about in the landscape. Well, anyways, first of all, I'm gonna be talking about Ramona. In Ramona, we have to talk about Ramona. The passage we have to talk about in Ramona is about Henry, about an Henry quote to be exact. Henry quotes, although I couldn't really understand it, if I'm being honest, because it was just sounded like a bunch of gibberish to me. Well, not sounded, but it seemed like a bunch of gibberish to me. I had to read it over a few times in order to completely understand it. But after reading it a few times, I think I might have got the idea of what she was talking about. the the idea that I got from the quote was that it's a metaphor, first of all, and it compares a rag carpet to life. Both a rag carpet and life are extremely difficult to live through. Like a rag carpet is made up of so many different things as well, and just as life is. They are both similar though. The symbolism which this metaphor entails is how a rag carpet does not discriminate against any color or stripes it may have, although different. Just as we as a human race are all different, and the rag carpet is different as well. It's a it's a symbol that we should all be treated the same and not discriminate versus others just because they have different colors, skin, sex, or anything like that. That's what I believe, at least. Um, and once, like the rag carpet, once they all come together, all the colors, the stripes, the designs, once everything comes together, it ends up being nice. Just as a human race, if we all come together and work together, everything could be peaceful and really nice. And that's my opinion on Henry's quote in the passage. For part 2, I am going to be talking about Shirley Letters, a passage where I found Lewis Clapp to be, well, first of all, let me explain. Well, for this part, we have to talk about where Lewis Clapp, had to be. Well, I'm sorry. Where Lewis Clapp contradicts herself. Oh my God, be quiet. So as I was saying before, I was abruptly interrupted. Lewis Clapp contradicts herself so much in this story, in her letters. I'm sorry. And the one way she contradicts herself is when she mentions how women should keep their mouths shut and not say anything to what a man and they should always do what a man wants whenever he wants, basically. I quoted this from one of the passages. Spoils their pretty mouth and ruin their beautiful complexions is what Lewis Clapp mentions, and she basically means that if the woman talks, she will be down on. She would be looked down on, because she shouldn't be talking and she keeps to herself, as it's extremely disrespectful to a man. What I later read in the passage is that she brings up a story where she mentions how women are always being treated badly and blamed for everything that they didn't do just because they're women. And they are also considered incompetent by the men, by all the men at the area, everywhere basically. She gives the example of when Eve was blamed for for tempting Adam, which, in my opinion, I find extremely. I can't even describe it because it just doesn't make sense. Like, just because she's a woman, which is not fair. But anyways, that's beside the point. As I said, parts of this passage demonstrate how, although Clapp believed women should be treated better and equally, she was afraid to stand up for women's rights, which to me doesn't seem right, as she shouldn't have been afraid, as there were already movements starting to go on at this time. That's all for Shirley Letters. Now on to part 3, Death Valley in 49. In Death Valley, we were asked to describe the land of Death Valley in 1949. The landscape, should I say. So, I got this information from Chapter 12 and Chapter 9, and as well as Death Valley National Park, the link from online on campus. The landscape was described as a barren plain where there were many sagebrush and many varieties of cactus. The landscape was also described as being surrounded by the Rocky Mountains, which, to be honest, that must have been amazing view in my opinion. The landscape was a difficult landscape for the travelers, as there was not much available food, as well the conditions at the area was very hot and humid as well. The characters from these part of these passages were extremely cunning and determined to reach their destination, although issues arise throughout the passage. And obviously, issues were to arise because of the conditions of where they were traveling through. Pioneers during this time had to struggle so much in order to reach their destination, but it was worth it, in my opinion. They had to go through the barren plain of Death Valley. The information I got from Death Valley National Park link is that the Death Valley National Park is extremely big and has so many different parts to it, but most of it is just desert as well as mountains, as I said earlier. Pioneers had to struggle so much, like I mentioned, that the development of pioneer culture and customs was the way that they would travel in groups. Major things that I learned in these chapters were that surviving the struggle of traveling to unknown territory while not being prepared would have been difficult. The main characters, in my opinion, went through so much more than the regular people of nowadays would go through to get to a better life. The pioneers had to struggle through starvation, weather, and landscape when it was one of the toughest in the world, which is the Death Valley National Park. This concludes my I'm sorry again my 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 virtual video test. Thank you.